Hello everybody, it's just Eamon519 here. Welcome to a My Hero Academia Ultra Impact video. Today we will be talking about one of the banners going away and what banner they will be replaced by. My phone keeps getting notifications. And what banner they will be replaced by most likely. Now we've had a data mine a little while ago, I think around the time the World Hero Mission first came out, and we actually got a data mine for a banner that hasn't released yet. Now, let's first of all talk about what banner is going away. Then showing you guys what banner will be taking its place, should you summon for it or not, and then I'll be going into more details on the units that are most likely to be on that banner. And that last part is not necessary, it's just handy to talk about for people who want to know. First things first, let's look at what banner is going away. The V Tower banner is going away. Don't summon on this for people who are, like, maybe have started recently, or like, hey, maybe I should, summon on it, or I got the World Hero Mission unit, should I summon for new Todoroki or this thing? I heard V Tower is pretty hard, I might need these units. Don't summon for this banner. It's not worth it at all. Like, the only reason you'd want to summon on this banner is if you are a whale and you want every unit in the game. Or if you are a whale and you want every UR on this banner just to get the highest possible score in VE Tower and be like top 10. The reason I'm telling you to not spend on this if you're not a whale, or like if you're like a dolphin like me, or if you're free to play, the reason I'm telling you is because if you look at the realistic amount of summons that you are going to do on this banner, and even unrealistic amount of URs that you would pull from this banner, the amount of URs you would pull would still not be worth it. Like, this banner is genuinely made for those who want to go all out and spend a ton of money and all that kind of stuff. So don't do it, trust me. It's way more worth to go for this World Hero Mission banner with the limited Deku, the limited Todoroki, who is an S tier unit, by the way. The limited Bakugo is actually quite useful for PvP, surprisingly enough. Or going for this banner with the new UR Fire to Flame Todoroki. I will still recommend going for World Hero Mission first because those units are limited. But alright, let's talk about what is this banner getting replaced by in 3 days. Now, a huge shout out to the Discord, the official, not the official, but the My Hero Academia Discord. I will be linking in the description down below. And also, big shout out to Hydros, because it's actually thanks to his video that I remembered that this data mine even happened, because it's been such a long time since I've looked at it. No, at least it feels like such a long time. Now, let's head right over to what banner it's going to be. No, that's not the correct button, Naman. Let's head right over to what it's going to be replaced by. Now, if we go over to the Discord, as you can see, a little while ago, we got like a data mine showing off the UR Todoroki, the free-to-play Kami, Inasa, whose name I still cannot pronounce to save my life. But we also got this in here, the blue banner. That's going to be releasing. Now, this makes sense. Before the VE Tower banner, we had the Strength Focus banner, or the Strength Type Select Recruit banner, and then it got replaced by VE Tower. So VE Tower getting replaced by another type banner would not be super shocking to me. Now, should you summon on this? I'm just gonna kick the quick answer out of the way. After that, I'll be actually diving into some of the blue units that will be on the banner for those who are interested. But just straight up, this banner is a skip. The only reason you would want to summon on this banner is if you have pulled every UR on every other banner, and you are specifically looking for blue units only because you're really lacking them. That's the only scenario, or if you're a whale who wants every unit in their box. If you're not a whale, besides you literally having somehow pulled every UR on every current live banner, that's the only time you might want to summon on this. And even then, it would only be the daily singles, not actual multis. It's just not worth it. Like, the amount, like, even if you pull, like, good URs from this, like, it's just not really worth it. Now I'm going to get into the units. Now, I am still relatively new to this game. I only started when Global came out, so I can only really speak off my experience, and especially the units that I have myself. But I will still be giving my thoughts, and maybe you guys will find them handy. If you only came here to hear about this and my thoughts on that banner, there you go. Leave a comment down below if you have anything else you want, if you, like, maybe how your summons went, or if you're excited for specific units. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more My Hero Academia Ultra Impact content. But let's get into these units. Now, we have one unit that we know is confirmed to be a featured UR, which means you'll be able to pity them. And that's Asui. Now, Asui isn't... like, if you look at the tier list that was made on this, right? She is in... Oh my god, look at all the Deku's down here, dude. Look at all the Deku's down here, the disrespect. I mean, it's true, but nonetheless. She's in decent. Now, I have her. I've been using her quite a bit. If you want to see it, hold on. Let me just quickly pull up her character for you. And also need it because there's a piece of the path of her Ultra Impact skill. Her plus Ultra skill on the wiki that is missing a few words. So I'll be also pulling up this from time to time from the units that I have to show, ayo, this is what is actually missing. So yeah, I've been using her a lot, level 85, absolutely adore this unit. Now, one of the things that's actually missing on the wiki is this right here. Also decreases opponent's speed by 20%. Now, it has its passives in there, but it doesn't actually say its speed that it decreases. So I had to quickly pull that up and show you guys it. Now, let's move on. Okay, here we go. We have inflict 700% damage to one enemy and a medium chance to confuse the enemy and decreases enemy speed. See, it misses here. Speed by 30% for 3 turns. This is if you have like path 9. This is if you have like the 9th ward done. Before that, it's like 600% here. Still 2 turn. Still a 2 turn, right? Yeah, still a 2 turn, and this is not 30. This is 20%. Oh my god, my parents turned the heater on in the house, and I was wondering why I was burning alive in my room. Well, there we go. Now, let me explain to you guys something. She has very useful utility. Very useful. But this is not a UR that will make or break your box. Make your box. She will not make your box at all. She won't even make your blue team. And I don't mean as in make it in the team, but more like a make or break situation. However, if she is like a 2nd or a 3rd UR blue unit that you have, that's actually quite useful. Now let me explain to you what she does. She inflicts, besides her plus ultra, she inflicts 250% damage to one enemy. When used in a chain successfully, she decreases the enemy's critical rate by 25%, which is fine, right? Like maybe maybe we'll get like a VE tower USJ stage of an enemy that like crits a ton and does like very little damage, but if he crits, he does like a ton of damage, right? Like all his attacks percentage comes out when he crits. Maybe in that scenario, she would be really useful if he's red, but like, so far that it's like whatever it is, right? Now, this is the really good part though. Decreases defense by 50% for 3 turns. Decreasing enemy defense stacks if you imply multiple times or from different units in the same turn or whatever. So she can be quite useful. When I had to like first beat my Endeavor USJ and Endeavor V Tower, she was a very useful unit just for lowering defense, allowing my other units to do a ton more damage. Now the second stat right here is Camouflage. For 3 turns, increases all allies' critical hit rate by 20%. Now first of all, Camouflage, all it does is it increases your chance for the enemy's attack to miss you. It only affects attacks that do damage to you and does not work against plus ultra. So a plus ultra that has the same chance to miss you as it normally would. Camouflage does not give you a higher chance to dodge plus ultra attacks. Keep that in mind. But she basically gives everybody a 20% higher chance to critical hit. Now, of course, besides the additional damage, you might be wondering, what is the big, like, you know, deal with that? Now, let me tell you right now, in VE Tower, if you want to maximize your points, which is something you want to eventually start focusing on, like, obviously, maybe not now. Maybe now you're barely struggling to actually beat VE Tower, let alone actually focus on maximizing your points. You're trying to not die. And you also have to keep in mind that every unit that dies also means you get less points. So you have to get a balance in that. But what you want to do is you want to get 20 critical hits per fight. Obviously, you can get more if you want, but when you had 20 critical hits, you get the max amount of points for crits. So her giving everybody a 20% higher chance to crit for 3 turns, that's great. Every one of those critical hits will give you additional points. Even if it's barely any additional damage, more points. More points, higher score, higher rewards. Now, at the start of the battle, fill blue allies plus ultra gouge by 30%. It's fine, it's useful, 30% is quite an odd number, but it's good, right? This could have been something like when below 50% HP, increases power by like 10 or 20% or something like that or whatever. But like this is really good. It's fine. This is what's really good though. When camouflage increases critical rate by 35%. 55% when after using this skill. Once again, more crits in VE Tower. Very useful. Sorry I have to take so many sips. This is my second time recording this, so I'm already kind of spoken out. But yeah, like I said, she won't make your box, she won't make your team, but she is a very useful extra UR to have for VE Tower, especially when facing red units. Now, of course, we have the GOAT, Bakugo, another unit that I have. 700% damage to a single enemy, and if the enemy is burned, an additional 50% strength. This is only if you have Path 9. If you don't have Path 9, this is 650, and this is 45. I don't think Path 9 is really worth it, because I can still hit 99,000 with him on, like, VE Tower against red units, and Stage 5 of USJ against Endeavor with his ninth board upgrade. So I mean, it will help for the times that you don't hit 99k without like the defense down, or maybe without the burn setups, even though you can't even burn Endeavor. But it is what it is. But still a very, very strong plus ultra nonetheless. Now, his first action skill is 350% damage to a single opponent, medium chance to inflict burn, very good for his plus ultra. And when the skill is used in a chain succeeds, decreases enemies' defense by 15%. Just like Asui, he will also decrease defense. These are two URs that I like to rock together because they both decrease enemies' defense, which is just super strong. And then of course you have the AoE, which is 225% attack, medium chance to inflict blindness, which just makes enemies have a lower chance of actually hitting their attacks. Very useful. I'm pretty sure this also does not have any effect on if they're trying to plus ultra though. When, or maybe this is the one that like hides their skill that they can't see it. I don't fully recall. When HP is 50% or above, he gets two effects. First of all, he increases power by 35% and increase power by 5% per enemy defeated. I don't know if this is enemies he defeated or just enemy defeated in general. If anybody knows, please tell me in the comment section down below. I would love to have an answer to that. And the second thing is increases speed by 25% and increases power by 3% for every turn. This is really useful in PvP. For people who play a lot of PvP, speed is key. For people who do not play a lot and don't know why speed is so important, speed basically decides which team gets to do their skill chain first. And doing your skill chain before the enemy can be huge. You could potentially like debuff the enemy that they do less attack and less damage. You could freeze them with some Todorokis. You could inflict burn on them, which is not that big of a deal. You might be able to give your own allies evade for one turn, so that the first set of like skill chains the enemy will hit on you will not do any damage. Going first in PvP is the make or break for a lot of matches. Now, next up, we have Hawks. Now, I'm gonna kind of zoom past these because I don't use Hawks too much. I don't have Hawks. Even if we look on the tier list, this Hawks is not that high up. Honestly, he's kind of down here. Now, why is he down there? Now, this is why I hate recording twice. My throat is already dry. So, 550% damage to one enemy. That's not really good. This is like board 9, by the way. That's why it's like, you might say, oh, well, it's close to like, to Bakugo 700 or like 650%. It is if you board 9 them. You will not board 9 them. I guarantee you, you will not. The amount of materials that it takes is insane, and only for 550. Now, skill damage based on speed. That's really good, right? This could be really strong. Inflicts 150% damage to one enemy. Skill damage based on speed. Once again, this could be really strong. Inflicts 350% damage to one enemy when using the chain successfully. Increases skill damage by 40% for 3 turns. Could be decently good. Now here is the issue. He never increases his own speed. He has no auto skills. He has no action skills. He has no plus ultra. Nothing that increases his own speed, which is the issue with this unit. and why he's so low. If he like increased his speed by like 40% or something like that, right? Or 30% on this attack, done. He would be an amazing unit, in my opinion. He would be great. He would at least be higher than freaking decent tier. But as of right now, not worth it. If you do decide to spend on this banner for some reason, please don't. But if you do, and you pull him as your only UR, you got shafted crazy. Now, next up, let me just finish out. The unit prevents debuffs up to 2 times. Useful. When speed buff is active, increase critical damage by 30%. He doesn't increase his critical hit rate anywhere either, so it's like whatever. When speed buff is active, increase skill damage by 45%. See, that's the thing. He needs somebody else on the team to increase his speed. He needs somebody else on the team or a memory or whatever to increase his speed, because if he don't, he isn't doing shit. And next up, when speed debuff is active, decreases his defense by 15%. He debuffs himself as well. Oh boy. Again, not really a unit to go for. Now, next up we have Kirishima. Kirishima and Deku are really good blue units. Well, I still think Bakugo and this Todoroki are like the top for blue units. No, actually, I think this Todoroki and Kirishima are the top for blue units that we have. Though Bakugo, in my opinion, should still be great tier. I know he's not anymore, and I get it, but in my heart, he'll always be great tier. But if we quickly look at Kirishima, inflicts 650% damage to one enemy and increase defense by 20% for 3 turns and gain grit. I don't know what grit does. I cannot find grit in the game as a status effect. My screen was going on standby mode, so I had to quickly click on it, sorry. But yeah, he gets that. Basically, inflicts 300% damage to one enemy and taunts them, basically making the enemy only attack Kirishima for 3 turns and gains 2 free hits. If you get hit by an enemy who has a skill that is multi-hit, there goes your barrier. But if not, very useful to have. Now, counters normal attacks, very strong ability, especially with taunt. And gain barrier for 2 hits, increases skill damage by 30% for 3 turns. So you would probably want to start off with this one and then do this one right afterwards. Now, if a unit takes critical damage, increases skill. If this unit takes critical damage, increases skill damage by 5% for 30 turns. When HP is 50%, increase skill damage by 35%, 50% or below. It is what it is. It's useful. It's good. This is a good thing. You could have had something way worse, but this is something that consistently will up his damage over time. If he takes critical hit, especially since he's a unit you want to take damage. Also, he counters, not like Uraraka, but like a Kirishima unit. Now, for people who don't know what the difference is, Green Uraraka actually negates the damage that she takes from normal attacks and then counters. He will still take damage, decreased damage, but nonetheless damage. So he can still technically get hit by crits and then counter. Now, increases skill damage 5% up to 30%. It is what it is. If you get hit by like 6 crits, it's very good, but I don't know how I feel about this build-up. When HP is below 50%, increase skill damage by 35%. Once again, very useful because you are a tank, and if you're lucky, you will be able to do a full tank skill rotation again after you land below 50% HP, at which point you'll be doing some pretty good damage. Not a main DPS. Now, next up, you have increase allies' max HP by 25%. Very good. If you want to run like a mono blue team, or like at least the first 3 units be mono blue for like PvP or something, him, Bakugo, World Hero Mission Todoroki will be great. Absolutely going crazy PvP. Of course, nowadays not, because Nejire exists, and Nejire kind of threw a lot of, shit in the water for mono blue, but it is what it is. Next up, we have Midoriya. I'm gonna quickly go to Midoriya because Midoriya is just Midoriya go brrr, and that's the end of it. Inflicts 700% damage to a single enemy and decreases enemy's critical rate by 35% for 3 turns. Asui does something similar. Once again, maybe we'll get like a red unit who is like known for doing a ton of crits at some point, and we need to like lower his crit count because without crits his damage is shit. I think it will be a really fun boss, but we still have to get there. Inflicts 350% damage to a single enemy and decreases enemy speed by 30% for 3 turns. Inflicts 350% damage to a single enemy and deal an additional 50% damage if the enemy has a speed debuff. 350% is amazing. Decreasing enemy speed is useful in PvP, but I don't know how useful it is outside of it, since most of the time you will be outspeeding most of the enemy bosses anyway. But hey, you might find it useful. But that 50%, that 400% damage on this, he does a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage. This is a good damage. This is a lot of damage. Now here is where it gets crazy. When HP is 50% or more, skills deal an additional 50% damage. Everything goes crazy now. Everything just goes crazy now when you're above 50% HP. But when HP is 50% or less, you gain evasion for 3 attacks and increases speed by 40% once only. He is really good. If you did decide to, for some reason, summon on this banner like a multi or two and you pull him, consider yourself lucky. You could have gotten Hawks. Do I recommend summoning on him? No. Because he's in general pool, but, you know, like he's in general pool, right? Yeah, he's in the general pool. It says it there. Now, next up, we have Todoroki right here. I'll be not going over him because he is a limited unit on the current banner. He is by far the best blue unit here. Maybe with Kirishima, but, you know, him and Kirishima are like the best blue units. Having one of the 2 best blue units in the game not on the banner is very much pain. Next up, we have a Toga. My friend actually pulled Toga. One of the images is missing. Inflicts 600% damage to one enemy. High chance to make the enemy bleed. Bleed is strong. Why is Bleed strong? Bleed and Burn are both strong because they both do a ton of damage at the end of every turn. The more HP the enemy has, the more freaking... It's insane how much damage Bleed and Burn can do if executed well. The issue is there is a lot... There's like enemies in the game like Endeavor who like comes up in 2 very difficult events. USJ and VE Tower that cannot be burned. Bleed is a very useful alternative. Now next up you have 350% damage to one enemy, medium chance to make the enemy bleed for 3 turns. If the enemy is bleeding, plus Ultra Gouge fills by 20%. I assume that you want to use this after, like you want to hit your plus Ultra, inflict bleed, hit this and get 20% plus Ultra and try to kind of loop it. Fills plus Ultra Gouge by 50%, increases critical rate by 20%. Another great thing. VE Tower. More crits. Yes. Fills plus Ultra Gouge by 30% at the start of the turn. At the start of each wave, skills deal an additional 50% damage. So, 30% here, 50% here. Successful triple skill chain is additional 30%. Basically, plus Ultra on turn 2. They use this attack for the additional plus Ultra Gouge fills, and you'll be fine. At the start of each wave, does skills deal an additional 50% damage? Wait, am I reading this correct? She gets... I don't think this stacks. I think this is just worded weirdly, right? Yeah, this is just worded very weirdly. There is no way in hell that you would get like an additional 50% skill deal stack every turn. Nah. If she does, that would be crazy, but there's no way. That's probably just a weird way they wrote it. When HP is 50% or less, gain High Field. For 3 turns, skills deal an additional 50% damage. I have never seen High Field before. Let me no, I don't want to go to my base, please don't. I want to quickly check what High Field is. Luckily there's a very useful tab for this here. Let's see. Auto recovery, quest, skill, skill chain, skill effects. There we go. Let me see, where's High Field? Frozen, skill sphere, charmed, counter, nullify, static, evasion, barrier, double attack, hide, last stand, resilience, compose, blind, resist up, camouflage, hellfire, frostbite. It doesn't say on here either. Lovely. Oh, okay, let's see. What does it say here? High Field. Oh, it's a static. A static increases your Plus ultra refill rate. Yeah, that's the same thing that the yellow All Might gives on his plus ultra attack to allies. Yeah. Alright. Well, there we go. Now we know. Overall, fine unit. I wouldn't mind having her. Though, once again, I would not be happy if I did, like, multis on that banner. And this is the only blue unit UR I pulled. Momo. You all know by now how insane Momo is. But in case you don't, let's go over it. First of all, she is high tier for PvP. Her and Blue Bakugo make such an insane PvP rotation. I'm gonna explain to you why. Now, okay. Fills teams plus ultra gauge by 20% is the main appeal here. Her plus ultra itself, besides that, is not that insane. Removes one status condition from all allies and heals 35% HP for your team. The heal is crazy. Heals in PvP are insane, right? Anybody who's played against Momo or Nejire, or god forbid both on the same team, knows how insane healing is and how annoying it can be to deal with. Remove one status condition from all allies. From all allies is insane as well. Now, another thing that makes it great in PvP, whatever for damage, but decreases all enemy speed by 15% for 3 turns. Speed is make or break in PvP matches. So there you go. Increases all skill of blue type allies by 25%. Do I need to say more? Blue Bakugo, Blue Todoroki, and her. That's an insane rotation. Like, what you could do is you could run Blue Bakugo, Blue Todoroki, Kirishima, and then Momo in the back, so that when one of them dies, she can come in and just heal everybody. That would be insane. At the start of battle, all allies are immune to one debuff, once only. When HP is 50% or less, increase plus ultra gouge by 40% once only. She is insane, and one of the units definitely most worth it. Definitely. If she's like your only blue unit, then no. But like, only blue UR unit. But no, but yeah. So that's kind of that. Like I said, a lot of these units are good. I would not recommend summoning on the blue banner though for them. They are mostly general pool, except for the S tier World Hero mission, Blue Todoroki right here. But he's not even on the banner. You're better off summoning on the World Hero mission banner and trying to get these limited time units. That's what I'm telling you. Also, quick little tip here. This is a unit I've been using for quite a while now. But let's say you don't have Momo. This Uraraka is always worth having. Increased attack of all blue allies by 20%. She also heals. She increases her critical hit rate and enemy has critical rate debuff. Decrease the enemy critical rate by 30%. I don't know why so many units have that. Still don't see too much of a use for it, but it is what it is. When Jenny's fees 50% or less gain grit. Oh wait, grit is now I know what grit is. It allows you to like when you're about to get KO'd, you're allowed to survive with 1 HP for 1 time. Pretty sure what it is. It's like last stand if I recall correctly. Here, like let's check. Okay, I can just not go there. But yeah, she's a really, really good like pick if you don't have anything else here. Let me quickly check this again. Grit. There we go. Grit at last stand. Survive on 1 HP. Yeah. That's what it is. Kiroshima's insane then. Fucking hell. But that was basically the video, me going over some of the blue UR units. If you enjoyed this video or this style of video, do leave a like to let me know. I really appreciate that. If you have anything else you want me to check out, I will be doing some reviews on units like this Todoroki right here that I just awakened earlier today. Or yesterday. Yeah, yesterday evening I actually awakened him. So I want to do like a little showing him off in VE Tower. And maybe even USJ. So I'll be doing that. But if you have anything, you know, leave a comment down below. Maybe tell me how your summons have gone. What are your thoughts so far? Tell me why you might not summon. Or maybe, you know, you're like, hey, I understand it might not be a good choice to summon, but I have like Bakugo and Todoroki and Kirishima. And, you know, being able to maybe pull that Momo would be great. And I still want to do it because Momo is my favorite character. More power to you. I'm just saying what I think. But I will not shame anybody if they are like, I want to summon on the banner anyway. Matt, remember, this is a gacha. This game is made to steal your money. in the best way possible. So just spend your summon currency however you like, because that's the most important thing. I'm just here to tell people my opinion and why I came to that guess, that educated guess. And of course, if you guys want to see more My Academia Ultra Impact or other content from me specifically in general, please do subscribe. We also have a Twitch in the description down below. I have my own Discord as well. Obviously, also the Discord that gave us the data mines for this will be linked down below. And I'll also probably put the My Academia Ultra Impact XYZ website in the description down below. It's a really, really useful source. And sure, it has some information missing, but it's probably the best we have right now. Thanks everybody for joining on in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.